Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of our isolated city here in City Skylines. But today we're going to bring a little bit more leisure, whatever you want to call it, to the island. We're going to try and give the residents a little bit more fun stuff to do, as well as do some more generalized expansions. Guys, if you are enjoying the series so far and want to see more, then make sure you smash that like button down below. And if you are new around here, make sure you do subscribe so you get notified when the next episode does come out. But anyway, we are back, boys, and the island is looking so beautiful. Now, I focus a lot on this area in the past couple of episodes, and we recently built our little farming industry in last episode too. We've now got the opposite problem that we had at the end of last episode. Last episode, we had so much cargo coming in. Now, because obviously we were importing a ton of stuff, now all those vehicles importing need to go back out. So it's kind of flipped on its side. But what I've also done is I've implemented a little train station here just to take a little bit of the burden off, and these backlogs are slowly going down. Now, we are still waiting for the import to kind of decrease. It's almost halfway, so it is slowly going down right now. We are slowly switching over from importing to storing our own goods that we are pretty much producing. My biggest problem was I placed down the storage before I placed down the production buildings. Oof. And that's what made them start importing like crazy. But anyway, we're going to leave this as it is right now because it's going to tick along. It is now actually starting to make some good money, which is pretty cool to see. So I'm excited to see how this is going to progress once it's kind of solved some of its many issues. Now, I want to place down a bunch of kind of leisure activities around. But what I think I'm going to first start with is within these areas here. Remember when we built these new cargo import areas and we kind of extended these areas here? And we did one over here as well. Well, I kind of want to build up upon those and kind of bring the city more into it, create some more commercial, create more buyers for the products from the industrial areas. That's kind of what I want to get done first before we start adding stuff in. I want to add the football stadium in too. That's going to be kind of exciting. So let's start here then. And we'll begin with a little bit of commercial. So sticking to our rural road, because that is the theme of this isolated city right now. Bam. So this is actually digging in quite a little bit of the road, isn't it? I just realized this, which is not a bad idea. You're going to see some of the buildings and kind of flatten it all out anyway. But how far could I potentially take this down before we're going to have to kind of implement some type of a bend? Could I do a 10 by 10 here? Is that even a 10 going down there? It is. It doesn't feel like it then, did it? Right, if I bend that round then, it becomes quite a nice little buffer. And bring that in. And then if I bring this down to here and also kind of follow through, not like, you know, in terms of pooping my pants, but follow through with the bend just there. And then, I mean, I don't want to, you know, commit to too many bends, but we'll then do it like this. And then we've got this little bit of a flow coming through, and it ends quite nicely. Beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway, right, we could have done a lot more better on this bend, but it is what it is at the end of the day. It is what it is. Can't do much about it. We're going to go with that. Water-wise, we're just going to quickly fill it all up. There we go. And we'll start then with some commercial. So we do a couple of commercial blocks just there. We'll do these two running down as commercial. Now, this will probably leave it as it is. Worst case scenario, throw some offices down because it's a little bit too close to this. I don't want anyone really technically to live there. But I will place down, actually some commercial here. And then we'll do some commercial here because this is kind of like the seafront area. So we want to kind of get it as commercialized as possibly can to sell those touristy products. Now, I could zone it to be a certain area, which I probably might be quite a good idea, actually. So let's kind of only do a small little section of where I want to zone this type of commercial activity. So bringing this down to here, because some of it we're going to kind of have a little bit of a hit and a miss. And the other areas will be this type of beautifulness right now. So if I bring that down to there, we're only really going to go for that commercial on that one side just here. And we'll add on a bit of I say tourism, right? I say tourism, but I don't know whether to do kind of more of a leisure aspect of it. They're active 24/7 though. I can do organic and local produce, causes noise pollution, attracts tourism. Would it be a little bit too much for our residents around? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to hinder us in the long run. We'll kind of see what happens and what gets built up from it. Now, over on this side, we'll just keep this nice and simple. No dramas as of right now, hopefully. Bringing that down to there. I'm going to quickly delete this power line. And then residential will go here. And then we'll stick to the commercial coming in there. So hopefully that will eventually bring the power back over to them. And I'll just let that build up naturally anyway. So while that then happens, I'll bring this and add here. So we're going to kind of keep it like that. And I'll do another block of 10. And if I just ended it like this, because the way we have the little cul-de-sacs coming off, I can maybe extend this down by another 10, that little cul-de-sac there, maybe this one by another 5. Just to give us that little bit of additional. Paint all this real quick. Drop you down, and then back to ye old commercial just there. Now, I don't want to stick to just your standardized low density. I also want to put a little bit of high density as well. But that will come from when I build the stadium in just a moment. So eventually I want to get all the beaches set up like this, with all this amazingness, all this magicalness, all these little kind of walkways. Just kind of make it like a more of a beautiful area for them to pretty much live in. You can see we have a few people utilising it. I know I got this big windmill, but it's kind of powering the little pier over there. But people seem to be using it. They seem to be utilising these walkways, which is really good to see. Really good to see. So all this area will slowly build itself up. We are going to get some type of a high-rise building here for like hotels and stuff, which kind of then makes me want to build the beach area even more than before. But, you know, time. Got to give it some time to build up, guys. Got to give it some time to build up. So, with that said then, let's take a look at building a stadium. Now, I've given it a lot of thought of where I could potentially put this stadium. And the size of it is quite decent. I keep being drawn back to this area. I don't know what it is about this area, but I feel like I'm always being drawn back to this. Now, it does fit within the vibe of high density. Granted, there's some residential there, but that's okay, because I can buffer it out with some commercial. Like that makes any difference anyway. But I just keep being drawn back to this area for a bit of football. Is it actually a football stadium? It is, yes. Is it American football or is it European style football? The true football. Don't come at me. You know I'm right. So I'm going to come up by a 4. Let's say a 7. So random number. By a 7. And let me just see how this works. I'm going to have to adjust it all anyway. That's the wrong button. So ideally I would want it round about, well, a bit further down. If I just run this down a bit more, I'll position this where exactly I want it, which I reckon about here. And then we'll just kind of utilize the road then to get it all sorted. So what is the length of this? That is a 15. You're not really going to get your magical number in. So I could do a 5 by 5 bend just there, and then end it with a 5 by 5. You can hear all the upgrades now happening. It sounds amazing, doesn't it? Right, that works then. That really works. We'll plant down some trees and whatnot to bulk this area up a bit more. But ultimately around all of this, I'm going to do, starting from here, the high density commercial. To there, and then we'll get the trees down. Is this the right type of tree that I've been using? I don't think it is. I always forget which brush I've been using for certain parts. Right, there we go. Beautiful trees down, boys. Lots of beautiful trees down. And then the commercial will kind of oh, where am I going? The commercial will just kind of then just fill up around it. But obviously on game days it's going to be quite busy. Is it American? Yeah, it's European style football, the true football. It's not soccer, man. But on game days it's going to be quite, you know, busy with traffic. What's public transport like around here? Now we could, oh, okay, so we could have the bus do a stop over here. So I can have when the bus line comes in like that, it stops there, then its next stop is just there. I could gloriously have it do a stop at the front of the stadium, which is pretty cool. But what about metro lines? Now, the blue line comes through there and back up. I have an entry there. I have an entry there. Now, I could either bring this line to have a stop end here, or I could utilize this green line. Both of them are quite short. Ah. Interesting idea. A way to get multiple trains coming. Guys, watch out right now. He's doing something very dangerous. So I can't... Oh, I could utilize that. But it's not really going to make much of a difference, really. Can I utilize that even though it's not in a pedestrian zone? I'm assuming I can. 2 lines. Have one of these end in that one. This one there coming and ending in the other one. 2 trains can approach the station. Magical. Absolutely magical. Now the question is, Sediak, can you implement this using the connection tool? The answer's probably no, but I'm going to give it a go. Right, underground. Right. Oh, hang on, I'm in parallel mode. No, I'm in the wrong ones altogether. Right, let's try that one again. So if I went there to there on this. Oh, do you know what? This is actually going to work out better than I thought. So trying to go quite conscious with the bend. What in the world just happened? Oh, I had the wrong thing selected. It was meant to be on tunnel mode. It was meant to be on tunnel mode. No. What has he done? I can't get out. Why am I in underground mode now? I can't get out of underground mode. I regret everything. Well, it works if I had the right thing selected, okay? It works if I had the right thing selected. Right, we should now be okay. No dramas. Right, now I've got tunnel mode. You can see, guys, I've got tunnel mode now selected. Let's try that one again. There. To there. To there. Bam. We're underground. Leave me alone. Right, then, hold on. There to then there. Which, this one should be fairly easy as well. But obviously I'm going to go a little bit bigger on the old bend for the trains. And that's cool, because now we have both lines doing the work for us. They both end here in quite an important location for the mass transit. So then, am I still on? Yeah, this. So then we're going to have to grab the line to make it end here, while then making sure we have a stop on both sides. Do the exact same thing over here, while ensuring we have a stop on both sides, and then play mode. So we got a bus stop and we got a nice little metro stop right there as well. Now I don't know if we're gonna have the node to cross over. I'll add it in anyway. I've broken the game, rip. But there's a cross in there just in case. There's a cross in there just in case right now. Make it easier for them to get from point A to point B. Beautiful, boys. Absolutely beautiful. So this all happens underground. We don't really see any of it. But that should work wonders for us. That should really aid the leisure facility. I mean, did you hear the amount of upgrades that happened when I placed this down? You know, that just shows you the jazz. Now, is there anything potentially else I can add in here, seeing as I've got the all that stuff now in? I don't know. We'll see. Tower Trans. Oh, the Posh Mall. Sorry, the Posh Mall is always a kind of a good one to implement, which I could implement that just. Do you know what? I'm gonna throw this one in just here. All right, a little bit of space still to kind of work with. But then I can also add in the Grand Mall. I could create this grand facade of a shopping district. And then end it there with some colossal towers. Now this is kind of going to bulk up this area slightly. I'm liking the level change of the buildings, which looks pretty cool. Now, they don't have water, which I'm going to quickly add. And then what we need to do, now this area you won't know how it's going to look until it's all completed, but I am going to push high density commercial all around it. And then we're going to literally plant a forest around all of this as well. And then once the commercial's all built up, you'll then see the beautifulness of the trees intertwining with the buildings. Now there's got to be an extra building or two I could squeeze in. I know there's a couple more kind of tallish buildings, like the servicings building. I'm pushing boundaries at this point. I'm legit pushing boundaries. I'm creating the city skyline. Haha, he said the name of the game. Interesting. Now I've just got to wait for all the other stuff to build up around it, because it kind of looks slightly out of place at the moment. But trust me, this will be amazing. I'm going to do a little bit of a walking path. Just going down the side of this building, if the game will allow me. There we go. Bam. Bam. Just add a little bit of crissy-crossy all in. Does that connect? It does now. So just a little bit of fun there to kind of throw it in. The buildings are slowly starting to build up. I am hearing upgrades here, there and everywhere. They're not fully maxed out just yet, some of these buildings. But hopefully they will be. Hopefully they will be. So because we only had like little demand anyway, we're not going to truly see the full shebang happen right in front of us, which is a shame. It is a shame right now, but I think this is a good start. Now, how is it all over here? Okay, it's really died down right now. I think we're almost getting to the moment where we're working on our own steam. The import is now down to a quarter. Amazing. So we are switching over to our own production ever so slowly. So that's good to see. So this is now slowly, it's all coming together. The vehicle backlog slowly dying down, and then we're back to normal, boys. We should be back to normal. This airport's looking beautiful as well. A few more planes coming in from what I can see. So I think we're getting there. I think we're slowly getting there right now. But we still got a lot more work to get done. Don't get me wrong, there's still a lot more work to get done. Now, waiting for all these areas to build up. How busy is this metro line? 83 passengers at the moment. There's a fair few people waiting for the bus stop. The bus is now coming in. Has a capacity of 60 odd people. Pretty much picks everybody up. That was pretty cool to see. 142 right now. So a fair few people are using it. I think there's a game about to be on soon. 13th of the 2nd, 63. Yeah, okay. We're actually 10 days away in the game. So we're going to have a match coming very soon. So you start to see a little bit more hustle and bustle in the area. Right. Oh my goodness me, the deaf. What's going on with the deaf? How have I only just spotted that? I've only just spotted deaf right now. Deaf everywhere, boys. Why is there so much deaf? Right, where is first our hospitals? There's one over here. But for some... What is that building there? The fire station. For some reason, I don't have any death care around here. Oh, I'm going to drop 2 just there to give us a little bit of coverage up and around this area. We really have minimal death coverage, don't we? I'm going to build another one just there. Hopefully that will push a few people out and about. There's some death over here, but I'm just kind of hoping that they're just spread thin because of how little I had. Like little vehicles. So hopefully this is going to work out. We should be pumping out a few more vehicles right now. We can have up to 20 vehicles coming out. We've already got 12 out right now. This one's got 12 out as well. I can hear upgrades for days, by the way. Whatever I'm doing right now, it seems to be working because there's updates coming out every angle right now. This is ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Okay, that's not too bad then. I'm quite happy with that. Right, so we'll give that time to kind of run through. This commercial, it's now a little bit slowly building over here, so that's going to kind of complement the landscape really well. That's what I mean. I've got low demands, and I want this to hurry up right now. Because it just looks really, really unfinished. It really does. Now, leisure in generic areas, we need a few parks here and there. Like, we need the odd large playground. The smaller ones. I'll get a dog park thrown in. Because we have to provide the leisure. Otherwise, we won't get, ultimately, all the ding-a-linging upgrades we want or deserve. So that would fit quite nicely under there. It doesn't fit quite nicely under there. Let's go for... Oh, I could do this one here, couldn't I? The little botanical gardens. Creates a nice little feature to that little side. So it provides a little bit of leisure in the area. Not too much. But it's just about kind of creating this ultimate coverage. Now, it's quite red in this facility. So, I know I could just keep placing carousels down, but some of them don't really fit the theme of the area. This one will be okay, because ultimately, it's quite a commercial zone. But I like these little playground stuff. Small little bits and bobs, just to kind of bulk up the area. Let's go. Should we go for the Japanese garden? Let's put that right there, and then we'll throw another smallish one dotted around. Provides a little bit more leisure. Very good, very good, very good. And we'll squeeze you just there. Very low over here. So I'm wondering if I can switch it up a little bit and get a few little bits and bobs down. So Statue of Wealth. That'll be quite fun to have it in this little looped peninsula bit. So we're kind of going from little park areas to provide the leisure to a couple of these little buildings here, which they provide a nice little entertainment boost, which is pretty cool. And then we have the Life and Death Fountain, which I'm going to implement that on the corner there. Provide a little bit more. And just see how it goes on. So, as you can hear right now, upgrades. The little plus arrows going down. I mean going up, not down. It's all coming together. Buildings are slowly starting to be built. We're starting to see this vibe right now happening. There is a football match now currently being played. Meaning we're going to get more people utilising the bus stop and the metro line. Things are working in our favour. Slowly though, slowly. It does take some time. The industry is still complaining like crazy about not enough raw resources, but we've tried all kinds of things right now. They have the ability to keep importing if they need, but it's all down to them. There we go. We're no longer importing any farming products. Amazing. It's all our own production. Just straight up export. So if anybody needs any farming products or agricultural, this is the place to get them from. What I will do is zone a new area. And with the little industry that I do have, right, we're going to designate this to be the farming side. So any type of industrial zoning I now place down will be farming related. And we've done this in many, many of the other places. So I'm going to go a nice little strip down to there. Only small little bits and bobs here and there. What's cool is I can kind of fill the dead spaces up by the airport with all of this. I don't want to go too crazy because it would just kind of completely throw the area all off. But just like that. And then once they do choose to spend the industrial demand, I'm waiting for like an area. Oh, I think I see a place. So we have a farm here just built. Amy's Bacon Company. Now I can't remember what these provide, whether it's actual farming product or whatnot. I'm not too sure. But I'm making that industry create that raw product is basically what I'm trying to do. And again, we'll spend that industrial demand. Whether or not they choose to spend it here is a completely different story. But we're giving them the opportunity to build a small zoned farming industry. That is what we're choosing to do right now. So this has now got the power again because this area is now being built all up. There's a little bit of water out of place just here. There we go. And I think it's now just a case of giving it a little bit of time to tick by. This tourism buffer that we created is looking fairly well. But this is where we then need to start thinking about building the key points of interest that come when it, round to these little beach sides. How well is this doing anyway? Nearly 500,000 people have transported themselves to the airport. That's a lot of people, isn't it? It is a lot of people. It is a lot of people. So time will tell if these improvements and changes will be worthwhile. A little bit more farming land is coming down. Oh, that's a big zoned building. Bread and beyond. They do bread and much more beyond bread. But that's pretty cool to see. There's more coming down as well. You got bread and beyond. Mary's livestock. That's a small grain silo. An animal farm. They got a billboard for yakisoba, tasty noodles. Oh, another one just here. Juice press. Nice. That's where they press the juice. So I think then, the only industry we are missing right now is the woodland industry. But I think, even with the current industries that I do have up and running, we're pretty much ready to start building some unique factories. And that's what we're going to focus on in the next coming episodes. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash a like button down below. Until next time, I see you all soon. So